too hot. Working on our mental health doesn't have to be hard. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about free, simple things that you can do to work on your mental health that are not therapy. Disclaimer, this is an educational video. It is not individualized medical advice. So please, for your particular situation, seek out medical support. It's always best to see a professional. Thank you. So, true story, whenever I work with clients, there are 3 things that we always have to take a close look at because they have such an impact on our mental health. So, if you want to know what these 3 things are so that you can make sure you're as mentally fit as possible, keep watching because we're going to talk about 3 mental health hacks that you're probably overlooking. By the way, if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm licensed psychologist Dr. Therese, and welcome to my channel. I talk about building a life you don't need a vacation from. If you'd like more tips on ditching hustle culture and building a life that's meaningful that you truly love, be sure to subscribe by clicking the bell below and clicking subscribe. And thanks so much for doing that. Your support for this channel means the world. It really makes a difference. As always, for more practical wellness content to maximize your life, you can also follow me on Instagram at exploring.therapy. So let's get into it. Mental health hack number 1 is working on your sleep. Sleep is such an influential factor, one of the biggest when it comes to our mental health and well-being. And yet, I find that it's the thing that we tend to neglect so easily. How many times have you stared at your phone for hours before going to bed and gone to sleep too late? How many times have you been streaming something on Netflix and you just click next and next and next episode again and again and again? I've done it many times myself. And because of this, our sleep is suffering. And we act like this isn't a big deal. We act like it's super normal and common to stay up a little bit too late. But the truth is that having bad sleep can really mess with your mental health. Sleep is so influential. In fact, it's so important that when I'm speaking with clients, I will tell them that sleep is so impactful for your health and well-being that if we had to choose between therapy and you getting good, consistent sleep, I would pick sleep. However, we're not in a world where we have to choose one or the other, so hopefully you can work on your sleep and get some support and help through therapy as well. There are so many benefits to getting good sleep. It boosts your immune system so that you can fight off illnesses and disease. It helps improve your memory. This is probably a given and you know this, but getting good sleep helps improve your mood. Sleep regulates your hormones, increases productivity, and reduces inflammation. Getting good sleep even reduces your risk of certain heart problems, believe it or not. And this is a big one. Sleep helps improve your emotional regulation and stress tolerance. That means that when you are getting good sleep, you are better able to manage the ups and downs of your emotions so that you have less strong peaks and valleys in your mood. And it also means that you have more resilience when it comes to dealing with the everyday stress that comes up in life. So sleep really is like armor that you can put on and protect yourself with from so many of the things out there in the world that can negatively impact our mental health. In other words, getting good sleep makes you the best version of yourself. Like I said, if I had to choose one thing and it was between therapy and sleep, I'd tell clients to get the sleep. But you don't have to choose. So all I'm saying is sleep is significant. Hopefully that I've nailed that into your head. And for you, if you feel like your sleep could be better, most of the clients I speak with say that it could be. Try starting with a small change. Try going to bed 10 minutes or 15 minutes earlier than you normally do. Try changing your habits before bed so that you're not staring at screens and things that can keep you up. If you're interested in learning more about how to sleep better, let me know in the comments. I can make a separate video all about sleep hygiene and the many things that you can do to help improve your chances of getting a good night's sleep. The second easy mental health hack that you're probably overlooking is eating food. Many people might prefer to take a pill for their mental health, but they're not realizing that their food choices are so powerful when it comes to taking care of their mental health. In other words, you can use food to nourish your mental health or care for your mind. How awesome is that? If you make poor food choices, it can lead you to feeling poorly. That can mean that you have low energy, you feel jittery or irritable. It's not good. And in fact, this is so important, and people are putting so much more value in understanding how nutrition impacts mental health that there's a whole field called nutritional psychiatry that talks about the intersection between what we eat and how it impacts our mental health. Why is this so important? Well, nutrient-dense foods are shown by research to have a positive effect on mental health. In fact, eating certain foods is shown to reduce depression. A diet high in sugar can impair brain function and lead to a fluctuation of energy levels. When you eat regularly, it helps manage your blood sugar levels, which means that it also helps you to have more stable mood. To take good care of your brain and to help it to function properly, you need to get enough omega-3s. Those are the good fats that you can find in things like fatty fish and avocado and nuts and seeds. Another fact about food and your mental health that's important to think about is hydration. Most of us don't drink enough water, and this is something that we can easily work on just by having water available and setting reminders on your phone to drink more water. So stay hydrated. It only helps you, and it helps you also to stop from having negative impacts from dehydration, like headaches and irritability. Another fact to keep in mind when it comes to your nutrition and your mental health is to eat the rainbow. Why is that important? Because eating the rainbow means that you're getting the diverse package of nutrients, which together will help you to function optimally and help your brain to function optimally as well. One final tip to keep in mind, and some of you are not gonna like this one, or you're not gonna like me for saying this, but it's about caffeine. I know that you're attached to your morning cup of coffee, but you gotta know that caffeine can have a negative impact on your mental health. I mean, just for me alone, drinking caffeine can make me really jittery and sometimes irritable. So be mindful about your caffeine consumption and maybe consider trying to reduce it or replace it with something else. If you'd like to know more information about nutritional psychiatry, one of my colleagues, Dr. Drew Ramsey, has a ton of information on this and a book that's called Eat to Beat Depression and Anxiety. I recommend you check it out. He's a wealth of knowledge on this topic. Here's the best part. To take care of your mental health through food doesn't have to be a pain, right? It can be delicious. So have fun with it and try to make a few small choices that make you feel better and more energized. It's a win-win. The third and final mental health hack that you're probably overlooking is a little something called exercise or movement, to kind of address it more broadly. And exercise is fantastic. As we know, when we exercise, it releases endorphins, which make us feel good. But did you know there's actually a huge list of benefits to our mental health when we practice healthy movement? Also, there's certain types of exercise that reduce stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. What you need to keep in mind, though, is that it depends on the type of exercise. So walking is fantastic for reducing stress hormones. There are some types of exercise that are more intense and can sometimes lead to spikes, at least temporary spikes in our cortisol levels. So just be mindful about that. If you're super stressed out, a really intense workout may not be the thing that would help you as much as a nice, slow, calm walk. Exercise improves your energy level, it improves your sleep, it improves your memory. I mean, there are just so many good things that exercise does for our bodies, but the cool part is it also is good for our minds. Because exercise, via research, is shown to improve our mental health and our mood. There's even research that shows that certain types of exercise, like dancing and walking, can help to reduce symptoms of PTSD. Incredible. And perhaps one of my favorite things about exercise and healthy movement is that it increases our self-esteem. And who couldn't use a little bit more self-esteem and confidence these days? So there you have it. Sleeping, eating, and exercise. 3 things that, hey, I'll admit, aren't always easy to take care of all at the same time, but they're 3 things that are almost always under your power and control to do something about. So I hope you found these 3 hacks helpful, and I hope that you feel empowered to take better care of yourself through your sleeping, eating, and exercise. Here's the thing. You don't need to change all these things all at the same time. That can be overwhelming. But what I think is best is just trying to pick 1 or 2 small things that you can change that aren't too intimidating, that don't feel like too much of a stretch. And if you do that, you're more likely to build those things into habits that you can continue in the future. And once you build one habit, it's easier to build another and another. So thanks again for watching today. I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.